Starting from somewhere, it's never the perfect time ever. So, you must be thinking of this: I need to get it right and all planned out, right? Well, the problem comes to this. The universe isn't going to align its stars against you, as it won't go out of its way to pave the way like how Moses split the sea. The timing is never perfect, nor the conditions, and what you have with you, you'll have to use it. You have to get used to a few things. It's never the right timing nor conditions. Learn to get into small trouble often and ask for forgiveness than permission. You only get this life once, most likely. Staying still and doing nothing is the worst case scenario. I used to think of ways to perfect my projects, but in hindsight, if I started with less and learned to adjust the course of my craft along the way, life would have been better, most likely. It's never the right timing, and I started rather late for my rather serious aspect of my works. See, unlike most people, software like Photoshop and using my own flatbed scanner didn't come into play until 2017, so it's been 2 years since, trying to make my stuff work. The progression is rather slow in terms of official records. However, in actuality, my craft has been running much longer, as far as 2014, where the internet just really get into the mainstream actually. So, with all this action going on in my background, and it may well be a historical series of events, I was just quietly working away at Imgur, Tumblr, and few sites that I no longer operate on for personal reasons. We are going towards a more permissionless world. You have to take the initiative. Well, here's the news flash: nobody, either your parents, boss, friends, etc., won't tell you what to do in terms of your internet stuff, most likely, and in reality they can't stop you from working on your online shenanigans and gigs you have in mind. If anything, you have a better chance of learning from the small, hopefully not fatal or totalized, mistakes and just try again. It's better to start small and build up these personal resilience to your own path and endeavors you want to take. In fact, I just decided to go with a bunch of seemingly non-related projects, and later down the road, some of them actually seems to stick. It's that simple. You are not getting any younger, and being still will kill you eventually. I hate to admit it, but time in some cases is more valuable than money. What I mean by that is that through history, currency and free trade was always a thing. Perhaps the dollar of today will be less valuable tomorrow thanks to the rise of cryptocurrency and blockchain, and gold and silver still can tank it through the time seemingly. What was consistent was that people tend to waste their non-renewable resources known as time and attention, and after a certain point in their life, people will notice this and start really regretting it. It's a sad tale of the majority even in the first world. And chances are you might not get this very statement until it's the end game or too late. There are two ways to waste time: either you do something and slip up, and improve based on it little by little, not giving up and redefine what you want from life, or simply sit and do nothing. If you can start with a bargain price and set up, and get away with it, do so. Here is a couple footage of where I started my serious online art gigs from. Pretty shoddy, right? Yep, it's a rather shoddy setup if you ask me. Somewhat better, but still. The corner where I tinker with stuff, it's pretty cramped and noisy in some rare cases. It's just the way it is. But that is the thing. I figured out that as long as I can get away with it and just focus on the results, things will be alright. And guess what? Things are just fine. It doesn't matter if the Wi-Fi is so bad that I have to get a folding chair and table to get up online communications under the stairs and next to a bunch of laundry machines. I just went with what I can afford or bargain with for weeks or months. 2 to 3 years later, the setup may have changed, but the laptop still holds and works. I just managed to deliver results without an iPhone or MacBook being involved. By the end of the day, only time will tell. Look, I never really expected things to end up the way it is actually. In fact, most of my substantially exciting events were from starting small and adjust based on what people online reacted with. It's kind of a strange dynamics for me. Since starting things like Dark Souls Inked, I actually haven't really expected much good from it. I only tried because there was a couple incidents from 2016 that signaled that it was worth it. It was that simple. And after following through for 1 to 2 years, it did show that certain actions really worked. Better to start doing now than to ruminate about stuff later.